All right, so we just got finished watching episode 3 of Hard Knocks. I really enjoyed this episode, especially because they had a joint practice.
Yes, with the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Yes, they had a joint practice with them because they were having a preseason game with them later on that Thursday. And so, shout out to UCF Jaguar, a fellow YouTuber and buddy.
I'm a little disappointed in UCF, though. I was expecting him to be streaking.
Because,
you know, I don't know,
during the training camp, Chris Baker, who's fucking awesome, by the way.
Fuck yeah.
He started messing with the Jaguars fans, right? And I was just hoping that UCF was going to be on the sideline, right? Because he was just talking shit to him, right?
He's like, y'all might win 3 games. And then you see the fans just laughing, and I like that.
Yeah, that was great.
They weren't getting like too emotional. Like,
so it was great. It was I really enjoyed that. Everybody go check out UCF Jaguar. But during the practice, their joint practice, each team's D-line was dominating the other's offensive line.
It was bad, but that's the niche on both teams, right? They both have good D-line, and I loved it. And
and their questions, they have question marks on their offensive lines, especially Tampa, as opposed to Jaguars.
Yeah, the Jaguars did go out and address it in the draft, but it's still, it's still a rookie.
And during their joint practice, Deshaun Jackson was getting pretty upset that he wasn't getting the damn ball.
Oh, yes. And I knew it was coming. They showed him a few plays that he wouldn't get the ball when he wasn't open. And I was like, oh, it's coming. It's coming. He's like, I need the fucking rock. And I was like, oh, there it is. So I'm curious is that really going to be a problem, though? Like, him demanding the ball?
I think it's a good problem because, these guys, Deshaun Jackson, he's a fucking great, talented receiver. He's a veteran. He wants a damn ball. And you know what I also liked? I liked later on, in Jameis Winston's fucking hotel room, Deshaun Jackson's up there with
Jeremy McNichols.
And they were going over some of the plays and stuff like that, and kind of like,
and that's practicing
good
because, Jeremy McNichols, he's a rookie.
And Deshaun Jackson's new.
Deshaun Jackson's new, but he's still a veteran. And still seeing him in there. And I was a little disappointed I didn't see Mike Evans, though.
Right. I know. I was like
why?
Maybe he should be there,
well, maybe because he knows the offense. Maybe maybe Jameis is like, you know what, let me work these 2 guys that haven't really been in the offense. So maybe that's why. Okay, I'll give him a pass.
I also thought it was pretty cool. I think it was right after that, Jameis Winston, Deshaun Jackson, and Mike Evans, they joined some broadcasters to get some interview questions.
Oh, yeah.
Jay Gruden was in there.
John Gruden.
John Gruden was in there.
I was going to fix it.
I know. John Gruden was in there. Like always, he's always fired up. You see his passion in his eyes.
Tampa. He loves Tampa.
Yeah, he's telling Jameis, he's like, hey, you're phenomenal. You're a great quarterback. You're going to be just fine. Just get over those turnovers, and we'll get into that a little bit later.
And Dirk Cutter always sees that's what then their whole focus through the whole training camp.
And Rex Ryan was in there.
Oh yeah.
And Rex Ryan,
I forgot he's a broadcaster now.
Yeah. So I think he'll be interesting. He'll be fun. They should get him in the booth.
He's a character.
Throw him in the booth with Jay Gruden, John Gruden. That would be fun.
Did you say Jay again?
I know what's wrong. Why did both of their names start with Jay? But yeah, throw him in the broadcasting booth with John Gruden. That would be fun.
Their personalities.
Yeah, and it was pretty cool how he was telling Deshaun Jackson, he was like, no, all right, so if I was still in Buffalo, how much would it have taken to get you to come here? Because that's where it was going. Yeah. And Deshaun Jackson, I think he said something about
I'm tired of that cold weather.
Yeah, I'm not playing.
What did he say? He's like, my bones can't handle it anymore.
And then Rex Ryan was like, well, I'll bring you a heater. I would have brought you a heater.
I would have got you something.
Yeah, and then Mike Evans was in there, of course. And Mike Evans was talking about taking that next step and being, a top receiver.
Number one. He was talking about leapfrogging them.
In this league. But he says, first we got to win a championship before I can,
make it to the playoffs.
Yeah,
they haven't made the playoffs in a few years.
No,
I don't think they made the playoffs since Jameis has been there. That I can think of.
I'm not sure. I don't think so.
Yeah.
So we go into the preseason week 2. Playing in Jacksonville, and man, talk about a really shitty game between both teams.
What was the score? Was it 12?
12-8.
12-8.
Yes, it was not a very good game.
12-8.
Yeah, it was an ugly game. I'm pretty sure it was 12-8, man.
Holy shit! I knew they only. How'd you score only 8 points?
I don't know what happened. I think it was 12-8, but anyway.
2 field goals and a safety. I don't know.
But it was a fucking ugly game. The Jacksonville Jaguars looked pretty terrible in the passing game. Blake Bortles, I don't know what the hell he was thinking, what he was doing.
Yeah. Now, Jameis though, they were tearing it up. They scored a touchdown on their very first drive, right? I'm not sure.
Doug Martin was looking good.
Doug Martin had that touchdown run.
Yep.
And then they had a block extra point. Nick Folk, of course. They cannot get a fucking kicker to save their lives.
Nope.
What is going on?
And then they get into the red zone again, and what does Jameis do?
Throws a goddamn pick, and it was stupid. He stepped up. He was trying to escape, and he got hit from both sides, and he slipped down and just chunked it up.
You don't do that. You don't do that.
Dude, Dirk Cutter was
Take the sack.
We have points. Why are you giving away points? Why?
And that's one of the biggest knocks. That's the biggest knock
on Jameis Winston.
On Jameis Winston, that he makes decisions like that.
And he's trying to take that next step, and we see that in Hard Knocks. Right? Yeah. He's taking that next step as a leader. Now he's got to take that next step as just the poise. As a poise in regarding knowing when just to take the sack. Yeah. You know, how many times did we see Peyton just fall? He's about to get hit. Fuck that. I'm not going to get hit. I'm just going to fall. I'm not going to take a chance of fumbling. Nothing. You see that from a lot of veteran quarterbacks that just tuck it, right? That's when you got to do it. Even punting the ball is better than turning it over. Don't give any momentum to the other team. Yeah. And he'll learn that. He's still young, man. He's still
But hey, you know what? He got a lot of throws to Mike Evans and Deshaun Jackson that game.
Yeah.
And that was looking good.
You know, I actually watched the preseason game before this episode, and he did throw a couple passes to O.J. Howard. They didn't show it. I don't know why they're not featuring O.J. Howard a little bit more. They did show him a little bit, but that was but that was actually to transition to Maurice Fleming.
Yes. Yeah, let's talk about Maurice Fleming. Yes. He was featured a lot in this episode because Brent Grimes, he went down. So, you know, they're looking for a backup here. And Maurice Fleming, he's saying, you know, he's got great competitiveness. You know, he's got a great drive. Yeah. I mean, he wakes up really early in the morning. He gets out there. And he's trying to work on his feet, on his footwork. Yeah. He's out there and he's trying to grind. You know, he's trying to get himself better. Yeah. But you know what? His practices. Their joint practice against Jacksonville Jaguars, he wasn't looking good.
He was not looking good. He looked good in practice against his own team.
Yes.
But when he got against other competition, it looked like he got a little nervous, right? More spotlight maybe. And he just didn't look there. And
in the game though, he started not to look pretty good, and because he had that he hurt his knee, right?
Oh yes, he kind of let them fall onto him when a tackle is being made. That's why you don't let that. You just dive onto the pile, right? If you have to. Who cares? But he let them kind of fall on him. His knee got caught underneath them and twisted. And he said he heard it pop. And they're like, yo, you good? You're good?
And he was
stayed on the field.
Yeah, I mean, I don't blame him because you're undrafted
rookie free agent.
And you're trying to make the team. You're gonna try to work through that, right?
Yes.
But then again, there's huge risk in there because later on, you know.
You can put Doom with a lot more damage. And it's going to take him longer to recover.
Yeah, that very next play, he just fell to the ground. I mean,
D.D. Westbrook did a little stutter step, and he just couldn't keep up.
Yeah. However, though, it's the end of the game.
Yep.
And
they were in the red zone, Jacksonville.
Brendan Allen throws
to D.D. Westbrook.
Yep. And then Maurice Fleming came through, put his hand in there,
dude. That was a great play. That was a great play, and. You know, it sucked the next day when they got back to Tampa. They went and did x-rays. They didn't say what the injury truly was. Right. They just said it was a camp-ending one, and it would take about a month for him to recover. So pretty much he's done. He's not on the team. They put him on the IR.
Yeah.
Or the PUP.
It's going to take at least a month for it to heal.
At least a month. And he's either going to get – they said that more than likely he'll probably get a financial settlement where he'll be released, and so he can go to another team. Mm-hmm. And that's what sucks about these undrafted rookie free agents is like if you get hurt – that you're pretty much off the team because they have to fill that roster spot. They have to figure out who's going to be ready, and they can't just take a chance on an undrafted free agent rookie.
Yeah,
and I feel bad for him, but he played good, and they even said it, man. They like, you played through this injury, you stayed in the game.
He's tough. He's a tough guy.
That's a mentality that a lot of teams will notice from this, and they'll pick him up if Tampa doesn't bring him back.
Yeah. And so that was really tough to see. Yeah. You know, if that was me, I would have just lost it.
God, you'd have broken everything. You'd have probably cussed out the coach. And,
of course.
Oh God, I don't want to even imagine.
I want to talk about Riley Bullock. Or Bulla.
It's Riley
Bullock.
Yeah, we've been having problems.
Need to learn his name because that dude is fucking awesome. That dude has.
He's a tackling machine.
He does not stop. He does not stop. He's got a great fucking heart. He's got great competitiveness, and he's got great fire to him, man. Yeah. And I really like this guy.
He's a leader.
I think he's gonna make the fucking team, no doubt about it.
And they're pretty solid linebacker, but he's gonna be a great backup linebacker.
And if he doesn't make the team, bring him to Chicago, man. I'll take that dude on Chicago.
Hey, there you go. That'd be good for y'all.
But I really like him, man. And again, for the third week in a row, he shined. And
I think he's going to be the talk of the camp. I think, in my opinion, so far he is. To me, You know. Also, I want to bring up before I forget Chris Baker.
Chris Baker.
He is a character.
Yeah.
I like
Chris
him.
Baker, this dude is fucking awesome. In last week's episode, he was fucking with Aguayo.
Yeah, you're a kicker, Josh.
Yeah, he kept fucking with him. You know, he's the kind of guy who fucks with people. He fucked with the Jacksonville Jaguars fans in this episode.
Yep.
He's a funny dude. When he was dancing with that tree, grinding on that tree, that was hilarious. I really like him. He's fucking hilarious. And... Yep.
Oh, another guy, before I forget, is Gerald McCoy. He bought... So apparently when they did this last year, the joint practice and stuff like that, and they were at the hotel, they only had one food truck or one thing to eat, and it took forever. So he went and paid for a shit ton, like 3 different options, right? He had barbecue, he had wings. What else did he have? Was it just barbecue and wings?
I think it was, but it was a lot of good food.
He paid for
I wanted some.
He paid for everything himself.
Yeah, that's what you gotta do, man. You're one of the focal points of the team. You're one of the faces of the team, and he takes care of his boys, man.
That's why he's probably got respect for everybody on that team. Respects that guy.
Yep.
And, oh God, that guy is a monster.
So and then touching up on Doug Martin, they featured him in this episode. He was saying that he's a changed man. He learned from his mistakes. He's getting into
rehab.
He's going into those veteran years now, and he just wants to shine through here. You know, when he comes back from this 3-game suspension, he looked good in the preseason. He had a touchdown.
He looks good.
And when he comes back after 3-game suspension.
Look out for him. Yeah. I think this team could be very dangerous. Once Doug Martin comes back and they have better balance, I think this team could be...
Jay Gruden said it himself in this episode, too. He was John Gruden.
Yeah,
God damn it. Yeah, John Gruden.
Every time, I got you.
John Gruden, he said it. He said, hey, when you guys get back Doug Martin, and he's a Doug Martin that I know, this team's going to be scary, man.
The hamster.
I mean, even in Rex Ryan, he was like, what else do you need, Jameis? Yeah. He's like, what else the fuck do you need? You got all the weapons in the world right here.
Yeah.
And I was like...
Just cut down on the turnovers.
I was like, offensive line. Dude. But he's got weapons, man. He's got weapons.
Yes, they really do need it. I hope their offensive line gets a little bit better. They gel a little bit. I don't know. They need to do something over there.
Yeah, because they were getting destroyed by Jacksonville Jaguars.
Yes. Don't get me wrong. Jags do have a good D-line, but still, you gotta block better because they were getting beat too easily.
Yeah, man, Dirk Carter was so fucking pissed off at Jameis Winston when he threw that shit. He was like, you can't do that shit. You can't fucking do it. He's like, I know. I get my bad. I know. He wasn't the only one to throw an interception. Ryan Fitzpatrick fucking threw an interception too.
Oh, yeah. But he's not your starter. You don't want your starter to be doing that when he's going to be playing every fucking Sunday.
Yeah.
You know? Ryan Fitzpatrick, we're used to it.
Yeah. But I don't know. That pass he threw at Ryan Fitzpatrick, I was like, what the heck? That was
he pretty much he overthrew him. He should have thrown it more like to the middle of the field, and he threw it forward up top, and it was just Let's see, another thing to take away from this episode 3 was their kicking problems. It's still there. They got rid of that kicker Aguayo, and he went to Chicago. They have Nick Folk, and this guy still guys having problems. This is why Dallas had him back in the day. We cut him because he had issues. He did really well in New York Jets. He was with the Jets for a long ass time, and he did really well. And I was like, "Fuck this guy. He did shit for us, but he's doing good for the Jets." That pissed me off. But now he's back to his old self. Yeah, I mean, he had a blocked field goal, a blocked extra point in the very first one after that first touchdown. But they were like, the guy didn't break through the line. All he did was jump from the line of scrimmage. That means that Nick Folk did not get any air under it. It was just a line drive. And why are you kicking a line drive when you're kicking an extra point? Like, the only time you do that is if like it's a 50-yarder and you have to put distance. Like, it didn't make sense. And then he missed another like 40 or something. I can't remember how distance, but Nick Folk needs to be gone. They need to bring someone in. They need to bring like 2 or 3 kickers in because they have the worst luck. Yeah, I mean, all the other kickers in the division are really good, especially Matt Bryant. Oh, Matt Bryant, hell yeah, dude. But 40-something years old, still fucking making Pro Bowls. Yep. So episode 3, Hard Knocks. It was fucking solid, just like the previous 2 weeks. Oh yeah. I'm really loving this season. This is one of the best seasons in years. I'm so excited. I haven't seen this good of Hard Knocks in a long time. Yeah. So we're excited for next week's episode 4. Next week they previewed that the rookies were going to be doing their talent show. I can't wait for that. I love talent shows. Yeah. So guys, let us know what you thought of episode 3 of Hard Knocks. And we'll see you guys next week. Yeah. Later.